Coming to the green, here's our Miller race fact. The pole sitter has won only one of the last 19 Talladega races. We can cross that out and make that 20. Because Elliott Sadler was on the pole, and he will not win today.
It's an amazing statistic.
Back to green.
That 10th of a two-tire stop. Tony Stewart, 2 tires. Kyle Busch, I'm sure 2 tires. Probably the first car with 4 would be Scott Riggs or Greg Biffle back in 7th or 8th.
Takes a good full lap, get these cars up to speed.
Riggs took 2 tires, we understand, on his pit stop. Let's get an update from Marty.
Well, here's the other side of the equation for Mark Martin. Remember, he's 4th in the championship, only 21 points behind Jimmy Johnson, and this car is heavily damaged. The front and rear clips are both bent. The track bar mount, which is in the rear of the car, is ripped out completely. The lower control arm places where they mount in the front are ripped out completely, but they're going to try to get back out. And one thing they have in their favor is there might be another big wreck. Maybe they could pass some cars that way, but if they do go back out now, at best they can pass 2 cars, the car of Elliott Sadler and Mark Martin, but they are actively trying to get Mark Martin's number 6 car back in this race.
Well, it's going to be a lot of work done if they were able to get that car back on the racetrack.
And what he was talking about is that Mark could pass Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Elliott Sadler and Kevin LePage at this point.
I tell you what, Jamie McMurray did not lie to me. He does have a very good race car. That 42 currently is shown in 3rd position.
And McMurray took 4 tires on that pit stop. He was excited about how good his car is.
And I think this is where it helps the guys that took 4 tires now. If this thing goes green, they make a green flag pit stop next round. Those guys that took 4 could get away with the 2. Martin drops to 7th. 3 spots he loses. And a big hit to points.
This is not Mark's favorite brand of racing, as you might have guessed.
He's been not very happy with restricted plate racing.
Jamie McMurray at the front.
Oh!
Wow, that could have been a disaster right there.
Jamie, careful. There's cars coming on the outside.
Kyle Busch in the 5 on the outside.
And just McMurray happened to check up that little bit on the front. He's going to lose 5 or 6 spots because of that.
Alan, how about the 48 car? What kind of problems does he have?
Well, VP, they made 5 pit stops under that caution flag. Biggest problem for Jimmy Johnson, right front fender damage. Crew Chief Chad Knaus told Jimmy that the right front won't be able to stand any abuse. He's going to have to really be careful if he tries to bump draft anyone up through the traffic. If you'll notice, his teammates Jeff Gordon and Brian Vickers have dropped back to try and help Jimmy draft back up through the traffic and get back into contention for this thing.
Friends, teammates.
And teammates.
Dave, how about Vickers?
Pretty good race car, and when they received just a little bit of left front damage on their car, they spent a couple of pit stops fixing that, and then with 1 to go, they came in and topped off the tanks, knowing that their teammate Jimmy Johnson would want some help going back through the pack. They're separated right now, but the 25 definitely trying to help lead his chase-hungry teammate back through the pack. Matt?
Casey Mears right there in the paint car, the 41 in the middle. Now he's clear on the outside. Now he thought he had an ignition problem, guys, on that restart. It just didn't kick in, but now he said it's driving well. But he likes his car in the middle to the higher groove. He says that's where it performs best.
Hey, well, we've seen the high groove work pretty well for these cars today. Jamie McMurray at 42, remember, he used the high line to take the lead earlier before the crash.
Murray's car is working everywhere. He just passed Biffle, made it 3 wide going into 3 on the low side. Marty, he likes that 42 car.
He loves the car, Wally, and I know you've had a car that handled this well in a race before, and they're fun to drive when they drive like this. But actually, this is not where Jamie wants to be. He just radioed to his crew, said, get me out of the bottom lane. The car does not run well here. And 2, his car has been tight for most of the day, so when you're trying to force it to stay down the bottom, it makes it feel like it's even tighter to Jamie. It won't turn.
Well, unfortunately, it's pretty busy up on the right side of him right now, so I don't know if he's going to be able to get out of that low line. patient and wait for a gap to open up so your spotter can clear you into the next lane. Or get to the front and then don't worry about it.
How about that 29 car, Kevin Harvick?
And it has been an adventure for that team this weekend.
And the adventure continues as Harvick comes down with the lead.
Harvick failed post-qualifying inspection. And there's a lot to that story, Alan.
Yeah, sure is. Violations found on Kevin Harvick's car that involve Jimmy Johnson slowing down.
The left rear blew out.
Sure did.
Took the fender with it.
Caution is out. Caution is out.
Caution is out. One more coming behind you.
Well, and the caution should be thrown because we know that there's a lot of debris on the racetrack where this fender has been ripped off the 48 car.
So Jimmy Johnson will have to limp it back to pit road.
We need to be prepared to do something with the fuel filling hole here. Be prepared to work on that.
Yeah, we always talk about what happens when these tires come apart. There you have it. When they do blow, they just rip the side of the race cars off.
And he's on the interlocker there, right? That's a tire inside a tire.
And that's been such a help on racetracks like this.
Right side of the screen as we go on board with Joe Nemechek.
There we see the 48 car going by, and there we see the smoke. And that was the start of the tire coming apart. And Jimmy is lucky he didn't spin down and back it in the fence.
No, he's lucky he did it on pretty much the straightaway. If that would have happened in turn 1 or turn 2, I'm pretty sure he would have been to the fence. But he had the car pointed straight when it blew.
So the second caution of the day out at Talladega for Jimmy Johnson, one of the contenders in the chase for the Nextel Cup.